The most shocking reveals on paternity court.
Mr. Hawkins, you are not her father. Ms. Ewing, do you know who her father is?
Yeah, I do. His brother.
Mr. Hawkins' brother?
Whoa.
You are not her father.
Crazy.
A disheartened woman brought the confused case of her paternity and hoped to get closure once and for all. The plaintiff believed that Mr. Hawkins was his biological father. The guy was even on the birth certificate. But after 25 years, Mr. Edwards showed up and said that he was the real father of Miss Casey.
Miss Casey, you say that for more than 25 years, your mother has told you that a deceased man who is listed on your birth certificate is your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Edwards, you claim to prove that you are Miss Casey's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
The poor girl shared her feelings and experiences of spending all her life without the shadow of a father's love. Miss Casey also told how bad parenting she got made her a better mother.
I built a bond with Otis Hawkins, who's on my birth certificate, even though he's not ever been in my life. I don't have anything about him, but he is on my birth certificate. My oldest daughter I passed Hawkins on to her. So I pretty much raised my kids the way that I have never been raised.
While her mother added to the daughter's testimony that she would do anything to set things right for her daughter, the plaintiff was not ready to accept that excuse, because her other siblings didn't go through the same thing.
It hurts me to find out that's how she feels. If I would have knew that that's what she needed, I would have did my best to help her, but I did not know.
Miss Casey, you seem to kind of roll your eyes like you don't believe your mother.
It's not that I don't believe her. She has 9 children. My other siblings had their father in their life.
The judge asked her mother about what she had told Miss Casey about her father, and she revealed Mr. Edwards reached out to her and claimed his paternity. And surprisingly, he was also her older daughter's father. The claiming father, after her response, said this about his kids. Do you think he could be the real father of her?
Mr. Edwards is your older sister's father.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Edwards, so you reached out to her on social media.
I was looking. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Then Mr. Edwards added his reason why he believed the plaintiff was his daughter. On this, Miss Casey coldly said she had a blank feeling towards him. Of course, you can't bond with someone who hasn't been present in your life.
She looks so much like my family.
I did not have a bond with him. Me and my oldest sister had a conversation about my mother, and she was like, well, what if he is your father since mother lied to us for so many years about different things? I don't believe so, because the bond that I had felt with him, it wasn't there. It wasn't no daughter and father bond that I felt.
Judge asked the plaintiff about her quest to find her real father, Mr. Hawkins, and she told them how her efforts were in vain. Poor luck.
I got on a social network. I found Otis Hawkins, and he was in Natchez, Mississippi. They did not disclose if he was alive or deceased, but they had gave me 2 addresses and 3 phone numbers. I contacted the 3 numbers that they was all disconnected.
Miss Casey then shared it would be a miracle if she ever got to meet Mr. Hawkins, and her mother consoled her for the words she spoke. She has been so lonely and torn all her life.
I would love to meet him. It will be amazing. I would just ask him a lot of questions like, what happened? Why did you leave? Is it something that she said to you or did to you and not want to be in my life?
He didn't leave because of you, LaConda. He left because of me, not you. You had nothing to do with it.
The judge then surprised Miss Casey with the missing piece to the puzzle for this case. The whole court was shocked and overjoyed at that moment. We didn't see this coming.
But he's alive. And we found him for you.
Oh my
Mr. Hawkins, into the courtroom.
Dear LaConda.
This is a picture I had. My teddy bear, my bear. I love that bunny.
Mr. Hawkins told the story of his relationship with her mother and shared the events that led to their despair in her life. Bad luck really hit hard in this case.
Just after some years, it just went bad. That was the only Christmas that I didn't go back to Mississippi to see my parents. I stayed in California because she was just born.
You obviously love this little girl. You carrying this picture in the frame. What happened? How did you lose contact with your baby girl?
After a couple of years, I moved back to Mississippi.
Mr. Hawkins shared a fact with Miss Casey that made her happy and addressed his death rumor. The mother confronted it and said this. So, how did it all happen? Or was it all just fate?
Mr. Hawkins, You are not her father. Ms. Ewing, do you know who her father is?
Yeah, I do. His brother.
Mr. Hawkins' brother?
Whoa. Didn't see that coming.
A strong woman showed up at the court and wanted to prove that the defendant was the father of her son, and he denied paternity, saying Mommy was a liar because he didn't want to pay child support. So to get to the truth, DNA test was needed.
And you are here to prove your 3-year-old son Giovanni is Mr. Lee's biological child and is denying paternity because he wants to avoid paying child support. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lee, you say you've known from day one Giovanni was not your son. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Brewington explained her first claim and told the judge about her relationship with the defendant. To a complete surprise, Mr. Lee denied it in a very simple way, saying this.
I want to know why you have doubt.
At the time that Gio was conceived, we were not having no type of intercourse. We were not cool at the moment.
Your Honor, I was living with him. We were living in the same household, in the same bed.
Around the time, yes.
So were you sharing a bed?
Yes, ma'am.
And fluids.
The judge politely disliked the plaintiff's comment and asked the defendant about their relationship, and he said Miss Brewington stepped up and shared the moments they had before conceiving the baby to deny his lie. By far, this woman has every little detail with her.
Were you still having sex?
At the time of conceivement, no.
So you're saying during the window of time when Giovanni was conceived, you are certain that even though Ms. Brewington lived in your house and shared your bed, you weren't intimate with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I conceived my son in February. My birthday is February 1st.
The judge asked the plaintiff how she found out about her pregnancy and claimed pretty much the same events as before. This man is a maniac, and he did this to her after the pregnancy news.
I went ahead, they did a pregnancy test. It came up positive. I told him, he did not believe me at all. He went out and got 3 pregnancy tests. They were all positive. And he was like, well, that's not my baby. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We've been having sex. And then the last time we probably had sex was Valentine's Day, maybe a few days after. I'm like, this is our whole love baby.
Then Mr. Lee got the chance to add up in the story, and he was telling the events, but here things again went wrong for him. Ms. Brewington corrected him, and everyone laughed at their bedroom treatment.
Our birthday's on the 2nd of February.
My birthday's on the 1st of February.
2nd.
My birthday is on the, how you gonna tell me what day I was born?
He said it's the 2nd.
Yeah.
He around there just like he was around, exactly.
How you feel then?
Yeah. I wasn't happy, so happy birthday didn't fit.
The judge asked the plaintiff of the baby's birth, and she shared the scenario. And here is the ultimatum where everyone dies of laughter. She further disclosed how he treated the baby upon knowing the gender.
I'm showing ultrasounds to people. He's like, don't believe her, she's just fat. The entire time. I'm talking about, I'm going into labor. He's like, no, you're not.
She was trying to get back with me, but I wasn't, so she probably felt like if we have a child, we might work out.
As soon as he found out that my son was a boy, he's like, oh, that's my boy.
Miss Brewington explained his involvement in the baby's birth and how he accepted the child at the hospital, while she said he had even planned the names, and the defendant agreed to his actions. Well, at least he owned up for something for the first time in this case.
He actually didn't even, they asked about the birth certificate and everything. He signed the birth certificate. He named my son. He was like, no, I'm not letting you give my son no dumb name. I actually told him I was like, you don't want to wait until we do a DNA test. I offered the DNA test in the hospital.
But you signed the birth certificate, right?
Yes, I did. It was the right thing at that moment.
After some baby duties, here comes more of this young man being the most stupid person ever. He took responsibility for being a father without knowing anything. The judge had to comment on this one.
You're making an execution of a birth certificate sound like a consolation. That's not why you sign a birth certificate.
I didn't know I couldn't take my name back off of it.
Absolutely no thought that this child could be yours. And then you walk in and you just say, well, I might as well just sign the birth certificate like you supersizing your fries or something.
The defendant then shared his thoughts on signing the birth certificate. What a moron! He got fooled again by the law. The judge jokingly made him aware of the rule.
Not the case. They told me right away we don't do that.
Listen, Mr. Lee, you gonna learn making babies in the country and don't know the laws.
Yeah. I had to do a DNA test at the Child Support Services. I figured if I sign it, they're gonna take me right off after I do the DNA test. We came there, and then they said, no, we don't do a DNA test because you already signed the birth certificate.
Regarding his doubts, Mr. Lee said he got a clue of infidelity, and the plaintiff then brought another twist in the story, which is not funny this time, and shocked the court. she told the evilness of her friend's mind and her little maybe baby thing.
She told me that she knows
My friend
who's the
told
father.
him that because she
Excuse
wanted
me, I
to
was
sleep
talking.
with him.
I'm still talking.
I actually caught them sleeping together. He was sleeping with her, and she knew that if we stopped dealing with each other, because I told her we were working on us, and she knew that if we stopped dealing with each other, then she was free to go and be with their little maybe baby that they might have.
Upon this, Mr. Lee then explained the link of her friend's move with the birth certificate drama. Miss Brewington then further blamed him for being a useless father. She shared one more crazy thing the defendant did after the baby's birth.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Lee, you are not the father.
Told you.
Hold up.
I already knew. I told you.
Don't look at me like that. I don't know God's
Who
plan.
else?
This case has a lot of denial in it, but keep yourself tuned in for the drama and lies. The plaintiff and his girlfriend claimed that he was not the father of Miss Cole's daughter, and his evidence will shock the court. But the defendant said she was 100% sure of Mr. Webb's paternity. So the only way to get closure for good is the DNA test.
Mr. Webb, you and your girlfriend say there's no chance whatsoever that you fathered the defendant's 6-month-old daughter, Majestic. You say your evidence will shock this courtroom. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Cole, you and your mother say you're 100% certain that Mr. Webb is your child's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
The plaintiff started the testimony in sheer denial and left everyone shocked with the claim. On this, Miss Cole said he was lying. Well, that's a good start if I've seen one.
You've never had sex with her?
No.
He did.
She's a liar. She's crazy.
Ms. Cole, we've heard a lot of defenses in this courtroom. Rarely have we ever heard that you've never had sex with her.
She's absolutely crazy.
So you think she's just making this up?
Yeah.
The plaintiff continued his answer and shared his relationship status with the defendant and explained the reason for his denial. He seems very confident.
You were never intimate with her in any way.
I never stayed in her bedroom. I stayed out on the couch.
That's a lie.
And on top of that, I was only there for a week and a half.
That's not true.
Mr. Webb also shared a drama he encountered at one party with Miss Cole to prove her crazy behavior. I mean, that's some weird thing to do.
Your Honor, the worst that we've ever done is take a picture, and she was already in the bathroom. She had called me in there. When I walked in the bathroom, she said cheese and took a picture before I could even say anything. I didn't even want to take that picture. That's how crazy she is. She posted
There's
it on,
more
she
than
posts,
one.
shut up. She
There's
posted
more
it
than
on
one.
Facebook.
After the defendant's picture drama was explained, both parties yelled at each other in anger. This is just becoming messy now.
Me and my husband took care of you the whole time you were there.
I didn't see you for one time the whole time I was there.
Yeah, you were in her
All right, let's get some order.
So you need help.
The judge asked the defendant's mother why they took care of Mr. Webb, and she said this and again spurted with anger at him. Things are heated here.
You said you and your husband were taking care of Mr. Webb?
Yes,
You're a liar.
you
You're
are
a liar.
a liar.
You are a liar. Everything that
You're
you're
a
saying-
liar.
Why was Mr. Webb living with you?
He's a punk bum. We
I would-
supplied everything for them.
The judge asked the plaintiff to explain his stay at Miss Cole's house, and he made things clear in this case. His girlfriend stepped in and supported his claim by telling this.
And on top of that, April 18th, I had moved back to Detroit. How was I there for 2-3 months?
But why were you staying there with them for a week if you had a girlfriend?
We were friends. She trusts me. She knows I'm not like that. I don't do that type of stuff.
I've known him for 7 years.
His girlfriend continued the testimony and proved what happened during hangout with Miss Cole, but the defendant denied it. This story has no loops to untie the truth, which is hiding in the knot.
And you called me with his friend telling me that he was there for 3 weeks and you guys were having sex and blah, blah, blah. At first I did believe that. But then I heard
You
his
believe
story and
for
none
sure
of
I'm
it. Shut up,
wrong.
I am talking. I knew they were hanging out.
I don't understand this, do you, Jerome?
I never knew they were talking.
She had heard her voice in the background numerous times.
The plaintiff then shared how he got to know about the pregnancy, and he explained another drama he had to endure again. The resemblance claim is very stupid.
The first text, I'm thinking, okay, she's hinting towards it. Now she's full blown out, trying to say that we did stuff. So that's when I'm like, there's something wrong with her. Okay, this is the last one. This is how this ended. She had sent me an ultrasound saying, that's a 3D photo. Tell me she don't look like you. Are you that crazy? How crazy are you that do I look like an ultrasound?
Upon this, the defendant at last shared that Mr. Webb might not be the only possibility in this case. Woo, now something's making some sense here.
He's the dad because I did have another partner. It was a month. A month. I told you there was another possibility and I told the other
But you also
possibility there
told
was
them
another.
that you were 100% sure that I was the father.
After this, the judge asked Miss Cole the events with reference to the conception dates with both men. Man, we gotta get to that closure fast.
Mr. Webb, you are not her father.
Oh! Yeah, you're crazy. You need to go to a mental hospital.
Ms. Webb.